Hi out there, I am Marvelous Mark, and I apologize for my lack of videos over the last 3 weeks because work's kind of gotten in the way. My boss was out sick for an extended period of time, and I had to work early mornings, which didn't leave me a lot of time to do videos or anything else like that. But anyway, I'm back to more of a regular schedule, so I will be back doing these regular as well. And another thing, I don't know if you've already heard, you probably already have, but my colleague at the Off the Rope show, the Schlag Daddy, his cat Feisty passed away earlier today. She was 10 years old. She was the one of the 3 cats that he has, and that was the one you didn't hardly ever see on a video, one of our videos. But she was a good cat nonetheless, and she was always nice to me, so I'll miss seeing her around. So, with all that being said, why don't we just jump right into the video should we? Alright, so the opening segment kicked off with Hulk Hogan coming down to the ring. And he covers a bunch of things in this opening segment. First thing is, there's going to be a new television champion. And he announces four guys that he's going to whittle it down to 2. You got Samoa Joe, you got Magnus, you got Mr. Anderson, and Garrett Bischoff? Really? Anyway. And also he talks about how this feud between Bobby Roode and James Storm has gone on way too long, and so he's going to put him in a street fight at Bound for Glory with a special enforcer, and that is the MMA fighter King Mo. Not to be confused with Sir Mo of Men on a Mission, when King Mabel won King of the Ring back in 1995. Not the same guy. And then he gets to talking about aces and eights, and he's going to go to their clubhouse, and he says he's going to do it himself. But then you hear the Stinger's music, and he comes down, and he's got Hogan's back, and they're going to go there together, brother. Alright, so the opening contest was a triple threat match between one member of each of the 3 teams that are in that triple threat match for the World Tag Team Championships of the World at Bound for Glory. One of them is Kurt Angle, Christopher Daniels, and Chavo Guerrero. Well, it probably would have made too much sense to put AJ Styles in this match, because normally if you get AJ Styles, you get Christopher Daniels, and vice versa, but wow, that's a novel concept. He's not in this match, but anyway. Not really too much to say about this match. I mean, I would have thought it would have been better than this, but Christopher Daniels ends up going over with some STO type move, and that is it. I guess that's a good thing to have him go over, so I don't know. Whatever, I guess. Alright, then you have the first cut down for who's going to be in the World TV title match. And they all kind of make a case as to why they should be in it. And then he ends up eliminating Magnus first because Hogan wants to keep him away from Samoa Joe. Well, conventional wisdom would probably make you think that Garrett Bischoff should have been out first. I mean, probably because he shouldn't be in this match. Shouldn't even be in the consideration for this match. But I guess I don't think this really makes a lot of sense. But then Magnus tries to pull on a door that you push out. So that was pretty good. So then you got Brooke Hogan and Tara in the back, and Tara's talking to is it her Hollywood boyfriend? It kind of makes you wonder, who could that be? Could it be Eric Young, maybe? Could it be even Joey Ryan? Could it be somebody like that? And Brooke was talking about how there were going to be consequences after what she did to Tessmacher last week. And So what it turns out to be is the number one contenders match for the knockout title. It was Tara against ODB, and you had your knockout referee Taryn Terrell there. What Tara did was pull the oldest streak in the book. She faked a knee injury, and then she ends up rolling up ODB for the win, and she's the number one contender. If you're Tara, do they really need to have her do something like that? That would be something I would expect something out of old goat face Madison Rayne, not Tara. But anyway, she's number one contender, and she'll take on Tessmacher at BFG. Okay, then you have Bruce Prichard and Al Snow in the backstage area. Prichard's getting all up on Al Snow's case for going after Joey Ryan because he keeps getting in his face and whatever, you know. He's telling him that you're an executive now, you're not a wrestler. And Al Snow just saying it's all bullshit and this and that, you know. But it's like, it kind of makes you wonder, are they really going to have a match at Bound for Glory between Al Snow and Joey Ryan? Maybe the stipulation being if Joey Ryan wins, he actually gets a TNA contract. But I would like to see that, but I guess we still got about a couple weeks to go until Bound for Glory on October 14th, so be interested to see if that actually comes to fruition now. So then Hogan, he's talking with Garrett Bischoff and Joe and Mr. Anderson, and eliminates Garrett Bischoff, who should have been the first person eliminated, but that's neither here nor there. Telling him it's not his time, and Bischoff kind of gives you that. He kind of gave Hogan that look, like it's like he maybe couldn't believe it or whatever. But So anyway, it's going to be the 1 hour main event. Samoa Joe against Mr. Anderson for the vacated World Television title, and that will be coming up shortly. So then you have another backstage segment with Austin Aries and Robert Roode, and Roode's basically telling Aries that since you beat the greatest world champion in TNA history, you don't want a guy like Jeff Hardy stealing your spotlight now, do you? And he's just kind of planting that seed there, and then they're just talking about their tag team match later on tonight, and Aries just wondering, what was that? I was kind of wondering the same thing, but if anything else, he just kind of planted that seed into Aries' mind about Jeff Hardy. So, okay, back to what I was talking about, the 1 hour main event for the vacated television championship, Samoa Joe against Mr. Anderson. You know, this match wasn't really that great, to be perfectly honest. But then again, Mike Tenay, when Joe got the rear naked choke on Mr. Anderson, he didn't sound very excited now, did he? It's like, it's a finishing hold, you fuck. God, Tenay. It's like, shit, how many people has Samoa Joe taken out with the rear naked choke, huh? And it's like you're not even selling it. It's like you're not even getting excited. It's like it's his fucking finishing move, you dipshit. Anyway, Joe ends up winning the title, but God, you couldn't. Shit. Boy, Tenay sure wasn't too excited about it, now was he? And Taz didn't really help matters much either. He was probably more excited about it than Tenay was, and it didn't sound like he was either, but Tenay, get your fucking head out of your ass. Okay. Right after that Tenay debacle, Hogan's in the back, and a girl comes up to him with a package. He needs to sign something. He's also back there with Sting. They both get attacked by Ace and Ace. the girl sprays something in their eyes, and they get kidnapped. So that's gonna be a recurring theme through the rest of this show. Okay, then last week they had the gut check match between 18-year-old Evan Markopoulos, who lost to Douglas Williams. This week is the results. And the thing, this kid is 18 years old. I have a great nephew that is 17. He's going to be graduating high school this year. This kid is only a year older than my great nephew. So, anyway, I thought it was funny when he came down to the ring. He's doing this, and it's like, I think he took that out of the 1995 playbook with that tag team, the American Males, Marcus Bagwell and Scotty Riggs. I think he might have got a case of the clap. I'm just saying. But anyway, back to the results. Taz said yes. He liked his fire and his passion. Bruce Prichard, he talked about his passion as well, but mainly because of his age, he said no. So he had a chance to try to convince Al Snow that he should get a contract, and Al Snow basically told him the same thing. He said no, mainly because he's too young, and I would tend to agree with that. I mean, granted, he has been wrestling for 5 years. He went to Killer Kowalski's wrestling school. But yeah, I would personally say he was too young. I did like his fire and his want to and that kind of thing, but yeah, I thought he was too young. Come back in about 3 or 4 years. All right, so now we're at ASA Clubhouse, and they're talking to Hogan and Sting. And basically, they want to get a deal for Joseph Park, who got kidnapped last week, and basically the deal that the leader of Ace and Ace makes is that two guys from their team against 2 guys that Hogan and Sting pick, and it cannot be Hogan and Sting. And basically what it amounts to is that if the Ace and Ace guys win, they get full access to the Impact Zone. And if Hogan and Sting's guys win, Ace and Eights are gone. So, yeah. And they also say that after the match is done, they will get Joseph Parks back. So, ooh. Alright, so then you got the main event. Bobby Roode and Bully Ray against Austin Aries and Jeff Hardy. If this match did anything, it kind of teased more tension between Aries and Hardy, since once Jeff Hardy was taking a beating towards the middle of the match, he made the tag to Aries, and Aries is getting beat. I mean, he kind of did his stuff for a little bit, and then he was starting to get beat down. And then Jeff Hardy wanted to make a tag, and Aries was kind of being a little selfish towards the end of the match, so Hardy had to tag himself into the match, and he ended up getting the pinfall with the Swanton on Bobby Roode, and so they won. And Aries seemed pretty resentful at the end of the match, so they had their little argument there, and that was the end of that. And then the last thing you see is Sting and Hogan and Aces and Eights, and Sting saying he wants in the match. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, final thoughts on this show. Could have been a lot better than what it really was. The triple threat match was okay, but it could have been better between Angle and Daniels and Chavo Guerrero. Then the 1 hour main event, Samoa Joe and Mr. Anderson. That should have been better than what it was, too. Especially when Mike Tenay's lack of excitement after Joe put the rear naked choke on Mr. Anderson. You would have thought it was a fucking rear chin lock, not a rear naked choke. But other than that, really wasn't much to get excited about on this show. I mean, Aries and Hardy, they're teased dissension and that kind of thing. But anyway, let me know what you thought about this show, and I will talk to you later. Bye.